Hey, what's up, everyone? We are 13 weeks away from the premiere of my Christmas musical called One Found Worthy. This is the behind-the-scenes look. This week we have some pitch meetings I'm going to walk you guys through and take you to. We have some pre-production things I'm going to walk you guys through. So 13 weeks out, things are starting to get real. There's a lot of money to be raised. There's a lot of rehearsals to be had to put this show on. So let's check out week 13. This is another update that will sound somewhat familiar to one of my previous updates. When you hit up a large donor and then you have that final meeting, because it's usually never one meeting, it's multiple meetings. The final meeting, it's a yes or no type meeting, and you fostered it and you've shared the vision and built a relationship and, given the ask, and then they say no. Again. So just here, not feeling too hot, but, hearing no is never fun, obviously. But when you've fostered that relationship and shared the vision and, prayed and all the things and then to get a no is just not, is not awesome. But, the only role that we have to play as believers in Jesus who are seeking to fulfill something that he's asked us to do is to steward it to the best of our ability. And obviously there's many aspects of stewardship with a show like this. Obviously there's the writing, there's the crafting, there's the casting, there's the rehearsing and everything else. But obviously that's just like the stuff that's seen, and what undergirds that is everything, built around it. And that takes, money to do. It takes money to hire a cast. It takes money to do all those things. And so, don't hear me saying oh, it's all about the money or whatever. But there's a reality where, things function on that, and again, I've never been this raw and this real with this kind of process. This is like my fourth show in 4 years. We did 3 movies that I fundraised all of them. And now this is the fourth one. This is live on stage this December. And we will film it because we have a budget line with a certain amount of money that says we're going to film it. So anyway, if you're still watching this at this point, you're a saint. But pray for us. If you think about it, just take 5 seconds after this. I'd be really grateful if you just prayed for us. And then just be encouraged that there's going to be seasons in businesses that you do, anything that you feel the Lord inviting you to do. There will be seasons where it doesn't feel very awesome. It feels quite horrid. And that it's in those seasons when, there's a choice. You choose him or you choose to go the route of negativity. And something that stinks as well is, and I go back and forth on this. Sometimes I share, sometimes I don't. But when you even we have a team of intercessors, right, that pray for us, my wife and I. Sometimes I don't even want to say, hey, please pray for this meeting. I'm about to go into a meeting. And, we're asking for your prayers for favor and for whatever. And then, because I hate doing that sometimes, or telling other people, because then they excitedly ask you or text you like, hey, how did it go? And I don't know what it is in my personality. I hate having to tell people, well, didn't go well. That face-to-face encounter or through text. Apparently I have no problem doing it publicly on YouTube here, but just that one-on-one, how did it go? And it's well, not great. So anyway, we did that today. Texted the intercessors, and so now we'll text them how it went. And so, pray for us if you think about it. This show is going to be funded. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be glorifying to the Lord in every way. We are confident of that. as a staff, we're confident of that. As a cast, we're confident of that, and we're continuing to move forward, full steam ahead. Rehearsals are going, production's going, pre-production's going, and it's going to be amazing. So thanks for watching this and being on the journey with us. Definitely say a prayer if you think about it, and we'll be back with another update here soon. All right, I'm here at the print shop getting some fundraising materials printed. When you do something like this, there's donation decks, there's pitch decks, there's all kinds of things that you need to have presentable. And so I'm headed to a pitch meeting right now. So I swung by to get some new donation decks printed out. So those are still warm, fresh from the press. So we have 2 donation decks here. We got the One Found Worthy donation deck that I just showed you. And then this is not the way this one normally looks, so I don't even want to show you guys, but I'll show you. Usually it looks better than this, though. This is the larger Firelight Creative Productions donation deck. So it's supposed to be like half a page like that, but the store here, just to do it quickly, wasn't able to do it. So normally it's like half a page. Now it's like page 2 and everything, but this is like kind of our master nonprofit production company donation deck. And then we got this smaller one here, which I already showed you. This is just for the $250,000 raise for this Christmas show. So gearing up here, had to do a pitch meeting over a lunch, and we'll touch base again soon. Why would you have 2 donation decks, you ask? Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. So what I began to find 3.5 years ago when I began raising funds for my first movie was I hear a mix of things from these business people that you're pitching for donations and for their investment into these shows. What's the here and now? What's the immediate need? And then many of them want to know that you're not just kind of like a one-hit wonder. Like, okay, how far does your vision last? So this show, One Found Worthy, this Christmas show, is December 13th and 14th. They want to know, some of them want to know what's happening in January 2025, like what's happening in 2026. Like, do you have any vision beyond this? Because if they're going to open up their pocketbook and give a donation or investment, that's important to know. And so I developed these 2 different documents. So each show that we've done has had its own specific donation deck, and a donation deck can be between 2 to like 7-10 pages, depending on how much information you want to put in there. I like to keep it simple because another thing I found in my years of fundraising large dollar amounts for these shows, a lot of these guys, unless they really, really love you, or they really, really want to, scrutinize what you're doing, they're not going to read your donation deck anyway. So for the shows, I try and keep it really, really short. Hey, here's what it is. Here's who we're trying to affect. Here's the cost it's going to take, and here's what you're going to get in return for your donation or for your investment. But then the larger donation deck for my nonprofit, 30,000-foot view, Firelight Creative Productions, my 501c3 nonprofit, that's where I really get into like, okay, here's my nonprofit's problem that we're trying to solve. Here's why I think that, where others, the church has missed it. Here's where we're trying to fill this hole and impact people. And then here's our 3 to 5 year vision. Here's like futuristic projects that we could see ourselves doing. And you don't have to have all that figured out. You don't have to have this state of the art plan of well, for sure, I know this is my next thing. Now we're grateful that, we had 3 movies in 3 years. That was pretty clearly well, what's next? Movie number 2. What's next? Movie number 3. But now beyond that, we have so many dreams and so many ideas that in this donation deck for our nonprofit, we have several pretty big projects listed that are in our hearts to do. We don't exactly know what's going to be next. So you don't have to have, my point, you don't have to have all the details figured out, where it's analysis paralysis. So it's a lot of times what these business people are looking for is, are you going to follow through on what you said you're going to do? And do you have any kind of vision beyond just the immediate, I need this money now to do this one thing? Because that can be an easy thing to do. It's I dreamt up this project, I'm doing this one project, and it's great, I believe you're going to do that one project, but beyond that, do you foresee anything else happening, with these types of projects? And so that's why I have 2 different donation decks. And if you guys are interested in, viewing them or checking them out, hit me up in the comments, and I can send you guys some links. All right, I just got here to where I'm going to be making this pitch for a large donation for the Christmas show. We were at Jack Stack Barbecue in Lee Summit, Missouri. I need to walk in here in a second. I'm not going to take you guys in there because that might be a little bit inappropriate. But I got my decks here. Now, this is a first meeting. So, I'm going to lightly ask, not going to go in for the kill necessarily, but I got all my materials. And this is a bit of a different meeting. It's a friend of a friend who introduced me to them. We moved locations 3 times. First, we were going to meet for lunch at a different place. And then he texted me and said, hey, can we meet at a country club? And then just today, he said, hey, can we switch locations again and meet here at Jack Stack Barbecue? So, about to walk in. Again, it's the first one. I've never met this guy in person, just texted him, again, a friend of a friend, which, huge shout out to people who share about what you do with other people. And if they share about what you do with their friends and that friend actually wants a meeting with you, that means they did a great job. That means that they definitely believe in you and they're a good friend. So huge shout out to my friends for doing that. We'll update you guys when I get out. Pray for me. All right. Well, feel very, very wasted, very tired, which is pretty normal when you're going into these meetings. It was really, really good. You never get a yes or no at the first meeting. But this meeting specifically turned into a conversation I wasn't expecting to have. That's the update. Good thing from this meeting, though, that's not normal. We actually got a second follow-up meeting on the calendar sitting there. So that'll be good. About to call the assistant of a very, very large business person, asking them to help us out, not financially, but with a different aspect of this show, and doing kind of like a VIP reception for my large donors. So I'm about to press call, and we're going to go in. Yes. All right, sounds good. Thank you. You got to roll. You got to roll with the punches, baby. You got to be ready to switch. Here we go. Yep. Well, it was good. It was good. About as expected. When you're dealing with people at like a high level, like hundreds of millions of dollars, and then more, and then some. You're grateful for a phone call. You're grateful for an assistant who will speak to you. You're grateful for the time. You're grateful for kindness. That's what I just said at the end there. Like, so grateful for kindness, because it's intense out there. It's intense. You have this idea. You have this calling, and you begin to put feet to it. And it's like, I used to think that was like, half the battle. Now it's like, I feel like maybe that's more like 10% of the battle. Like you begin press and go, and then there's like that 90%, grit and fight. And I am trying to learn, just being honest here, I'm trying to learn to do that from a place of rest. Really not easy. But I'm trying. So to end this week, we're ending with some phenomenal news. I just got off a call, and we got our first large donor committed super, super exciting. I teared up. I cried on the call talking to this gentleman. We've been talking to him for a while, and we were on a call. And the strategy for this, as I've shared with you guys before, to raise this $250,000, $250,000 to put the show on, is to get 10 people to donate $25,000. I know that's for a lot of us, that's a large amount of money. But we're putting it before businesses, businessmen, businesswomen, and asking them to donate. And we just got our first commitment. So there's only 9 more that we need. I'm super, super pumped. Very, very grateful to the Lord for this. It's the perfect way to end this week. So we're heading into the weekend now, and just full of faith in the Lord that He has us. This thing is going to happen, and it's going to be, again, this is all for Him. This is not to just produce some cool art or to, say we did something cool for the Lord. This is unto seeing His name be great around the world. And this show, One Found Worthy, is going to do just that. So super exciting way to end this week. Stick with us on the journey. I'll be back next week with more updates. But thank you guys for your prayers, for your love, for your support. Keep them coming.